experts to create your dream online business or grow your existing business, go to freedomlifestyleagency.com.
Hello and welcome everybody to our incredible episode with the amazing DJ Rajesh.
Yay!
Again. Hello everybody. We are so super excited to be here with you guys. And today we are going to talk about why 85% of businesses fail in the first 5 years and what you can do to change it around and actually thrive. And on my, I always get this wrong, on my left? I think left. On my left, we have the incredible Rajesh. Rajesh, would you care to share a few words of who you are? Because I know you as the head of the FLC agency and our Freedom Lifestyle Expert. But could you share a few words with our amazing crowd right here on Facebook and on YouTube, who you are and what you do for a living?
Hey, Tjibaria, thank you so much. And it is wonderful to be here and sharing all our experience together on our, Facebook family as well as YouTube family. First of all, I want to say this is going to absolutely rock the show because this topic is really very close to my heart. And to introduce about myself, I'm an entrepreneur, both on online businesses as well as offline businesses. And I'm also an international speaker, coach, and I'm actually, together with Tjibaria, I'm also heading FLC agency. And I love to actually travel all around the world. I've traveled more than 20 countries across 4 continents, and I'm aiming to travel every country in the world. So, and that's kind of about me, but in my free time, I love to actually, spend time with my daughter. And today, here with you, we are on a very, very important topic called why 85% of entrepreneurs fail in business in first 5 years and what you can do to thrive. I can't wait to really start.
Yeah, me too. This is so super awesome. And first of all, I want to say a massive thank you to you, Rajesh, for everything that you do. And for those of you who haven't yet connected with Rajesh, you must look him up. He is his handle is It's Rajesh Official all across social media. He's super amazing. And just a little while ago, we basically started to think about this topic and really notice how many people actually suffer from this. And that's why today's video is basically about why is it that 85% of entrepreneurs fail in business in the first few years, even though they may have had great products, great services, great programs, and a real big heart to help people. Why is it that this happens? And for those of you who've been following us on the Freedom Lifestyle Challenge recently, or whether it is just following me for a long time or Rajesh for a long time, you do know that we personally believe that failure doesn't exist, right? There's no such thing as failure. It's something that you continue to grow. But what we mean with the title and where we say failure or fail in business is that a lot of the time, because of certain issues that we are going to discuss today to help you to basically be able to know how can you get around it and actually thrive, is a lot of the time people within the first 5 years, they don't see the success yet. And that is because of a couple of very key things. And what do? Because they don't see the success instantly, therefore they think it's a failure and they take themselves out of the game and they're not able to succeed ever. And this is something that both of us, we don't like. We want to help people. We want to make sure that a lot of people are able to thrive and do a lot of great things. And for that reason, we want to start this episode. And by the way, I want everybody who's watching this either live or who will be watching this on the replay to note your calendars, because the incredible Rajesh and myself, we have decided to dedicate our every other Monday to go live on my page on this topic. So right now we are live. In 2 weeks again, we are live. And the usual time is going to be 3 p.m. UK time. Today, for the first episode, we are live at 5 p.m., as you guys know now. But we will be live every other Monday at 3 p.m. UK time to talk about this topic and to help you guys. So before we dive into this topic, which is very, very close to our hearts, we just want to say, if you are watching this live, comment below live. If you're watching this on replay, comment below replay. And also do let us know where you're tuning in from. What is it that you do? Are you in business or are you in a job? Or what is it that you do? And also, what is it that you like to see happening in the next few years? Because this episode, as well as all our episodes to come, will definitely be able to help you out. Now, today, we're going to kick off this episode with, like we actually started off with some stats and basically the realization why so many people fail in business. And I'm just going to, for simplicity, use the word fail. And one very big factor in this is basically not necessarily knowing how to best, first of all, connect with people, and second of all, how to basically allow for the empowerment system to be optimized, to be in such a way that they can help a lot of people, in such a way that it caters for conversion, but also in such a way that it kind of automates the process so that you're not just stuck in your business. And this is like a very, very, very big thing. And Rajesh, I know you've been in your business journey really speaking and interviewing on your channel so many different people that are in business, and specifically also catering towards helping female entrepreneurs as well. And I know you shared with me before we went live, we're talking about some stories about some very common problem that you see, that I see, that obviously, again, we don't want people to face, but it's a very, very common thing. And I would like to ask if you can maybe address this problem so that we can interact with our audience and basically see like what is the solution to this and how can people basically make it so much easier. So I'll pass the mic back to the incredible DJ Rajesh.
Wow. Thank you, Tjibaria. I can keep on listening to you because you keep, dropping those knowledge nuggets all the time in every statement. And, this, one of the biggest problem I see with most of the people is they don't take this fact very seriously. 85% entrepreneurs is a study, not just done by a university or, it is literally there. And some people say, hey, it was done in US. Now, like what you mentioned about the interviews are done for the entrepreneurs all across the world. And more than 100 shows I've done. And the common problems, this 85% is a reality. It's not really like, one kind of fact or survey done. And when I talk to US entrepreneurs or European entrepreneurs or Indian entrepreneurs, even I talk to people from Australia, one of the common problem here is people have dreams. And they love to actually pursue the dreams. And they have a big glitch. You may be asking, what is that? The biggest glitch is, they've got an idea. They love to kind of spend the whole day, whole week, whole year, and whole life on that. But, and that's a big but, okay? The big but is, I don't want to touch on my technology. I don't know what is that. I just can't go and create the whole page. Now the entire business runs on technology. And then you've got extraordinary level of automation that is possible. But they don't want to still touch because, no, I'm not good with technology. I just would rather, stay away from the technology. But is there any other way? But the world has changed. Everything has to be on technology. And I mean, people can actually kind of relate to it. Literally, as I said, some of the entrepreneurs are doing millions of dollars of business and they're really running them. But they have another passion where they don't want to get into just because they're kind of worried. And I know one of my very, very good friend, she's so amazing. She's so amazing. And then she helps people, anybody who talks to her, in no time, they get into their senses, saying that, man, I'm not just ordinary. I've got, a lot more potential. But the challenge is she's, she doesn't want to get in touch with the technology just because, it takes time, obviously, right? You know very well. It takes time. So what happens is the negative side or the kind of look at the reality, right? If she is able to touch, say, like 100 lives, which means she's able to change 100 lives. If she's able to touch 1,000 lives, she can definitely change, the 1,000 lives. Or what about a million? So the point here is this entire situation here is stuck with the, I want to do what I'm good at. I want somebody to kind of help me out. And in that process, most of the people, they do not even take off. And this is one of the most common problem I've seen across the world.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also, we see this a lot in our, when we run our events, or I just finished the FLC challenge with our FLC core family. And a lot of the time people, they, like you say, they are very passionate about helping people. Hey, we get Syed in the house. Super nice that you're here. By the way, everybody who's joining in, comment below, let us know where you're tuning in from and what it is that you do. And so what we see a lot is that people are very passionate about, the thing that they love to do. For instance, we see it a lot as well with coaches, people who love to help people. Let's say they're very good in let's say mindset coaching, right? They're very good at that. And they know, like you said, in an instance, they only have to speak to a person and they're able to help and they're able to go to the core of the problem and then make that difference to that person. And they would love to do that for a living. They would love to be able to, like you said, help the whole world with this. But then it is the mental block of technology that they think, oh, I'm not sure if I can do that, or I'm not sure if I like to do that. Because the cool thing is, a lot of the time when we run our trainings and actually people come onto the FLC program or they come through the education, they will figure out that they can do it, and it's actually not that much to it. But it never even gets to that stage. People are like, that's not my thing. And I just want to focus on what I'm good at so that I can help people. And that's a very common thing. And to be fair, I personally believe that everyone, as long as you are guided in the proper way, as long as you have, a good mentor, if you have the support, if you have the accountability, you can learn to do this. Some people learn it fast, some people learn it a bit slower, which is absolutely fine. But I think there is definitely something to say for the fact that if you want to focus on helping people doing your craft that you have mastered and you're very good at, and you don't want to look at it, and you would like to outsource it to other people that do marketing for a living, that is super cool too. And it's actually for that reason that Rajesh and I came together and we're talking to our incredible FLC core family. And we were like, well, we do marketing for a living. We love that stuff. We have a lot of fun. We have fun as funnels. We're a whole bunch of, like, a family of nerds. And we kick out landing pages, email sequences, strategy for businesses in no time. So that is why we came together and we're like, how can we help those people? Not necessarily saying that, I cannot do it, but I prefer to do it in a faster way where I get experts to work on the marketing and I focus on the passion. And for that reason, we are hereby, for the first time, introducing our agency, which is basically where we help people that really are eager and excited to go to the next level in their business and basically jump across the potential hurdles of marketing and let us do that for you, where you can focus on the business. Now, obviously, something like this is a very specific, high level and high value service. And therefore, we won't just be able to do it just for everybody, because we need to know, who are you? What is it that you do in your business? How does all of that works? And for that reason, we have decided to open this agency and help people out that really feel like, hey, I want this. I want to go to the next level. And I want to do this with some very kick-ass nerds. So for that reason, if anybody wants to check this out, if everybody would like our help in this, you can go to freedomlifestyleagency.com to be able to, to check it out and to be able to see if this is something for you. And if you can qualify for, being part of our, basically getting our nerd team to team up with you to be able to get you to your goals faster. So that is one thing. So basically, coupling back to what Rajesh was saying, this is a lot of the time something that holds some people back because they think, I don't want to do that stuff. But I think it actually lies deeper. And I think, Rajesh, you were mentioning this just before about the fact that, yes, people want to help. They want to help people. They want to be out there. They want to, make that change. But they don't necessarily realize that indeed the world has changed. And they also don't necessarily realize that the complicated stuff doesn't actually have to be that complicated. As long as you get one thing, and that's why we work with our core family, with our students, whenever we work on these things, we say one funnel at a time. So basically get one thing out, launch it, and get it out there and allow it to help people and help people on autopilot as well. And so with regards to this thing, like the let's say the passion problem, right? The passion problem, people are passionate about their thing. They don't want to look at the other thing. Like, have you also seen in your different interviews or you helping different people, how that actually has got some people to literally just stop their business because it wasn't sustainable for them anymore? Have you noticed certain things like that as well?
Absolutely. I mean, I can't say, no, it is painful literally to see somebody having so much of passion And I want to actually give an analogy for that, for probably for people to relate. Business is like an idea. Consider that it's an aeroplane, and the entire business or the flight cannot actually take off without runway. And look at this, runway is such an important thing. Unless it gains that momentum, having that proper runway, it can never ever fly. And this, what happens is most of the people, either they don't start at all. That is something which I see most often. But the more painful thing is they come onto the runway, and they start and they come in the midway and realize the runway is only constructed halfway through. Or probably they realize that, it's not properly engineered, because they didn't know that, this 85% entrepreneurs actually belongs to the people who actually started going on the runway. In the midway, they realized, I cannot take off because it's not properly done. I would have taken somebody's help who knows how to build the runway, because the pilot is not the right guy who actually knows how to build the runway. There is a gap. And I have seen, students, also the people, a lot of people whom, wonderful people have interacted through FLC as well, is that they start, they realize, oh my God, it's, they have a lot of energy right in the beginning. But then in the middle, they say, no, I think this is not it. And the reality is they're always checking on their idea. They're never checking on the runway. The runway is the entire infrastructure, automation, integration on how a business can run. And that is so important. That can actually kind of the decider whether your flight is taking off or not. So I want people to really put their entire attention on what is that runway all about? What is that really the idea needs such a strong foundation for them to take off, and then, safely. I mean, that's very important, right? So, I mean, the commitment level, see, when I'm actually seeing, somebody is from India, Sahid is tuning in from India. I've seen Suyang from Myanmar. All these people are really committed. When you see this level of energy, I feel so good. But that commitment needs the foundation for them to really kind of go to the next level. And I want you people to actually, comment below if you think you're totally committed for your journey to take off, or you just want to see the runaway and stop.
Yeah, exactly. But this is exactly the thing, because this is something that we spoke about as well during the challenge. And how about like the challenge, the FLC 7 challenge is just the beginning. And again, like you mentioned before, we see so many students during the FLC 7 challenge that have incredible energy. Now is the time to really focus and keep on going and keep on putting the things in place, and to realize that, like you said, the runway, it's something that is necessary to allow it to take off. And just to also make this connection, because I see a lot of people from the challenge are tuning in right now, to make that connection as well, that runway that Rajesh is talking about is basically the same as the 3 elements that you need in order to build your online freedom lifestyle business, which is your landing pages, which is your email sequences, and your traffic. So these are 3 components that basically make that runway. And so the first and foremost thing, and this is one thing that we have seen, and why we love this process, is actually it is easy. Actually, it is learnable. But the thing is, and then coming back to the point that Rajesh was making, is that a lot of people, they don't know that it's easy. They don't know that it's learnable. They have never heard of these things before. That is also why we make these videos. But then the next step is as well that sometimes there's people that say, like, I know it's fun. I know I would, I know I need it. I know the business needs it. I know the plane needs it to be able to take off. But I would like to get there fast. I don't necessarily want to do it myself. I don't want to learn it myself, even though that is very possible. But I would like people to actually do it for me. And then I learn in the process as well, so that I can manage it. And this is, again, another thing that we do with our agencies, because we truly believe that people are able, with the right education, that they can do it, manage it. But we're just saying, hey, we can make it even faster. We help you with the first funnel. We help you with the first email sequences. We get it up and running. And then you learn in that process so that the results can come faster. Obviously, there's never a guarantee of any results, but we do this for a living, and we do this well, and we love this process. So I think that's a very, very big thing. But I think another thing that or do you have another point maybe around this?
Yeah. I mean, I just want to leave an example to the audience about it, right? See, I've been really kind of into the business scenario for quite a lot of time, right, from my childhood. But everything is all about brick and mortar. And in fact, I even got the lessons from professors from Oxford and all that. But everything was connected to, my mind is wired to the offline business, which means more of brick and mortar.
Yeah.
It was the first time when I met you, I decided you're going to be my mentor. And then the moment I made you as my mentor and then started working, exactly doing what you said and exactly implementing the stuff is one way helped me to really expedite my journey. That's the first point. Second point, most important thing is, when you are going to create my funnel, I know for sure it's going to be a real kick-ass, right? And so it's a if somebody who has already made $1 million funnel, and you even getting that particular specific award from the ClickFunnels itself, if he or she is going to design my funnel, I know for sure the foundation is going to be strong. So this entire journey on how I actually could, from a person who studied to becoming really kind of helping, the whole journey is really came on fast track just because I have actually made sure that I've got the right person who is actually designing my journey. So that's really very important. I wanted people to really notice that.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate it, and I think as well that that is basically the type of thinking that we not just share on videos, but that we truly live by. Like this is your example that you live by. I do the same thing because recently when we invested to work with the company of Rudy Mauer, who works with Tai Lopez, and they in the last year during COVID. They across their agency they had done over $1 billion, right? And so we know, like, hey, yes, Tjibaria Award is there, super cool. Let's carry on with that. But every single time you need to understand that you want to level up. You want to basically allow experts to come in that are more expert than you already are, because I know a lot of you on here already are experts, but there's always another level. And so we as well as a company had decided to say, hey, wait a second, let us level up, let us invest and allow an expert to come in to help us in the process. And in the meantime, we learn as well. And so now we have learned, up-leveled, and now it's like obviously in that next stage. And I think that is basically the beautiful route to look at it. There's basically two sides. The one side is you can absolutely do it. Go do it, go learn it, go through the process and make it happen. Or the other way, which is also learning it, but also getting an expert, just like Rajesh said, to go and say, hey, how about we design this for you? So at least you are there faster. The runway is already ready for you. And you can even get there faster. And that is what this agency is about. This is more about, if you see like, I want super speedy results, I want really to leverage all the expertise, then we said, hey, why not? Let's say people who are really dedicated, who are really serious, come on board and we'll do this with you, basically. And I think that's a very powerful thing. But the second point that I actually wanted to mention, that we were speaking about just before as well, is that if you think about it this way, and a lot of the participants from the FLC 7 challenge, you will be familiar with this now. If you think about the way how in business you have a front end and you have a back end, right? The front end is everything up to the first sell from a particular customer, and the back end is the continuation of the customer journey with so many different sales that are to come, the lifetime value of the customer. And if you think about it, what Rajesh just referred to, and that whole system and the whole like different parts in place and the strategy about that is pretty much the back end. And if you think about it as well, like, why is it that billion-dollar companies are willing to make a loss on the front end and basically lead capture or get the, let's say, the mini no-brainer offer sales in the front end, is because they know their system is in place. The strategy, the foundation of it is laid out so that people can see, okay, so this is how it continues. I've got my email sequences for Mr. and Mrs. Skeptical in place. I've got the different parts that communicates with them. And so this is the level of thinking that we're talking about, is because a lot of the time, yes, people can go and start doing certain things, but they don't necessarily know what is the system involved for a strong backend. And let me tell you another thing as well. The backend the cool thing about the backend is that there's infinite possibilities. There's so many things. Like if you just look at our backend right now, my goodness, it's like the whole web is like, but it wasn't like that 4 years ago when we just started with this. It wasn't like that at all. So this is basically like a very important thing for everybody to just be aware of, is that it's very important to understand that it is the systems that allow the flight to take off and that allow you to actually be able to do what you love to do most, which is helping people, but also being able to do this in a way that it is effective and it's bringing in sales. Because if you just say, hey, I'm going to do it the old way, like Rajesh mentioned before, like some people, they just do it the old way. They just like to, go to a lot of networking events and hope to meet people. They're not even looking into online. Then it's going to be so very slow that unfortunately, most people, that's why the 85% of people fail. Most people, they are not able to actually get to the stage that they see results coming in. So they're trying to do it their old way without the system. They basically not get the sales, and then they have to say to themselves, it doesn't work. I failed. And they have to go back, even though what they have to offer is so powerful. And that is basically something we don't want for everybody over here. We want you guys to understand what are the parts to look at, what are the parts to be familiar with. And that's also one of the things that we always talk about. And I want everybody to comment below. You want to build your business with systems, one funnel at a time, right? And that's a very powerful thing. And I think, especially as well, you, Rajesh, in the recent episodes, I believe it was, of your show, like the entrepreneurs that you meet are so incredible, and I know you've spoken on different stages all around the world, and it's pretty much like that same thing. In the moment that we meet someone and we have a little conversation of, okay, what is it that you want to do? And then the person says, okay, I want to help people with mindset, or I want to help people with yoga, or I want to help people in business, or I want to, like, whichever people come to us with. Then I know in Rajesh's mind and in my mind, we see like, this is the funnel, and it produces out. But the thing is, and I spoke about this as well on the challenge, and maybe Rajesh, you can speak about it a little bit more, is that a lot of the time when it comes to mentors, or when it comes to programs, or even comes to agencies, it's not so much only that they know what to do and they can help you how to do that right, but they can also advise you on what not to do, which can save a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort, and a lot of heartbreak, so to speak, because when you don't know, and you just try a whole bunch of things, which is normal, but it's not necessarily efficient if you want to be able to go to your success. Like, what are your thoughts about that?
This is a very, very important point. Actually, you highlighted, Tjibaria. It's a very simple thing. Now, I had a privilege to actually have conversations with, entrepreneurs who have been running even $100 million businesses. And, it's a very simple thing. I want to actually simplify things so that, people can understand.
Yeah.
If somebody is actually having a conversation with a person who has already done the business time and again, and who had seen all the failures, and who had actually found the solutions to those failures. And that is one way. The other way is go in trial and error method. So if you look into these two options, one option is absolutely do it by yourself and continue to, have the failure successes. And what would be the time it takes? And the second thing is a person who is already running the business successfully over the years and in millions of dollars, and he designing it for you, he mentoring you, on he actually kind of creating a funnel, modeling what would work, and like you said, what would not work. That is the key, because in many times in failures and successes, in going up and down is where the time it takes. And many people, their entire lifetime is gone just going up and down. And many times it's not just about failure and success. Your motivation is gone, you're back to square one.
Yeah, exactly.
And
That's the thing.
exactly, that is the thing, where you have a difference when somebody who is an expert in their area, they're actually working out for you based on your idea, bringing out into a product, create a strategy, and how you can actually design a journey for your client based
Yeah.
on your product makes a huge difference, and it brings down uh, a failure into a success, maybe a 20-year journey into a 2 years journey.
Yeah.
It's all about a drastic difference between whether you're doing it all by yourself, because there's nothing wrong in
Mm.
doing by yourself. There is nothing wrong, and there have been people doing, but how fast you want to reach. Is
Yeah.
there any
Yeah.
way that you can look at the second funnel within 3 years instead of 20 years, right?
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
makes a huge
Exactly.
difference. And
Yeah.
look at the people,
That's
right?
good.
Look at
Mm.
the number of people that person can impact. That beautiful, amazing, FLC crowd that we get, they might
Mm.
be able to actually impact maybe, 1 million people in 20 years. If they're doing it by themselves, probably they might actually do 1,000 people. So people
Mm.
should really give that value to the time, and then see how I can do much bigger things in much smaller time. Then obviously these experts will really make a huge difference in terms of the journey it takes to get into the your goal.
Yeah, yeah, super, super nice, and it's so, so true because it's like time is of the essence, and therefore you can have so much of an easier journey in order to be able to achieve your goals that you want in a very powerful way, while also conserving a lot of your energy and a lot of your how do you say effectiveness by focusing on what you want and learning in your own pace, whilst the experts are at work helping you to achieve and reach more people, basically, which is a very, very, very cool thing. Now, in closing of today's first episode, I want to basically ask everybody who's on this call right now, comment below, let us know as well whether you have ever built a funnel before. It's always nice to know because we were basically wanting to see like what are the different things that we can speak about to help you guys further. And for those of you who have just tuned in, we are running these episodes every month, every other Monday. So once every 2 weeks on the Monday at 3 p.m. UK time. And we would love to see as well which are questions that you guys have when it comes to the advanced automation, because what we here have been talking about and Rajesh is an expert at is the advanced automation, looking at the systems and looking at that billion-dollar approach to be able to see like how can I speed the process up and get an explosive amount of results by being able to team up with experts who already know and do things for a living, right? So comment below if you have ever built a funnel, or if you have any specific question as well that you would like us to address in future episodes, do drop them below, because we always are very, very keen to see like how do these episodes help you guys, how can these episodes inspire you, which questions can we address to make sure that you guys will not be part of the 85% of entrepreneurs that fail in business, or that basically feel like I'm not succeeding fast enough, so they take themselves out of the game, but you are part of the thriving ones. And again, if you guys would like to see, hey, I would like to know how it is to work together with our incredible nerd expert team, then you can go to freedomlifestyleagency.com and basically apply for for an interview call to see if you can qualify for this special opportunity as well. So, okay, nice. Hey, we got Shoop in the house as well. So, Rajesh, if there's one final tip that you would want to give these guys and girls who are on our very first episode of helping people with advanced automation, what is it that you would say to help them out, to inspire them, and to allow them to take it to a whole nother level going away from this episode today?
Yeah, I mean, I can only tell that, like we spoke about it, time is of essence. And then if you really have, I don't know, if you want to impact people, or if you want to run your dream business, or if you really want to make over your entire online business, time is of essence. Number one, look at the time that you have. Did you even put a goal in terms of the time? And then think about how fast you can reach. Is it really possible to do all by myself, or if some experts help, can I do better? But make sure to ask the questions to your mind right in your conversations with your mind, because most
Yeah.
of the people are scared to ask this question. Oh my god,
Yeah.
okay, I don't know, right? So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
better that you take that risk of asking the questions now,
Yeah.
because whatever happened so far, there's nothing you can change about. But today
Yeah.
you can decide to change that particular approach and ask, what is the timeline? can I do it all by myself, or do I need anybody's help? Like Tjibaria said, right? Maybe you can even ask all those questions. Whatever we could address, we are ready to address. And I
Yeah.
would rather also ask you to comment right below what is that one dream that you always wanted to chase, but you have not chased.
Yeah.
Just because of the reasons
Absolutely.
that we are talking. Just because of
Yeah.
the reasons we are talking. Whether you think you don't want to touch technology, we are there. We have got, extremely competent and global experts for that. Or you
Yeah.
really don't want to get into something called designing a funnel, man, write it down.
Yeah.
Whatever may be your challenge, like Tjibaria said, there may be an easy solution which we can offer you right here on this particular calls
Exactly.
every Monday. I mean, every other Monday at 3 p.m.
Mm.
UK time. But
Yeah.
make sure anytime when you actually give a public commitment that holds you accountable. But
Right.
don't
Ooh,
let the
ha,
dreams
ooh.
go off. Yeah, hoo-ha-hoo. Don't let the
Absolutely.
dreams go away. Believe in yourself, but make sure to give a strong foundation. That would be
I
my
want to say mic drop moment. That was so beautiful, Rajesh, what you just shared. And my tip that I want to share is basically along the same lines as Rajesh. And by the way, if you haven't followed Rajesh yet, make sure to follow him. His handle is It's Rajesh Official on Facebook, on Instagram. He's absolutely phenomenal. Also on YouTube, where you can actually see his show and his interviews with so many different entrepreneurs all around the world. And like my tip is along the same lines as Rajesh, to make everybody understand that everything is possible. There are no limits. But like Rajesh says, ask yourself those questions, be be clear, have that conversation, and know that we are here every other Monday and we want to help you guys. We want to answer your questions. We want to allow you guys to get a glimpse of the advanced automation side of things. And if any of you at any time think like, hey, wait a second, I like this stuff and I want to go faster, then the agency is here to also support those who want to go faster. So on that note, we are going to go. Rajesh, thank you so much for this wonderful first episode and for all your time and effort to basically set up this whole agency, which is really, really absolutely incredible, because that way we can help even more people even faster. So big, everybody comment below and say a big hoo ha hoo for the incredible
Ooh.
Rajesh, which is the head of our FLC agency. And on that note, we're gonna go. If you thought this video was useful, please feel free to give it some love. If you think it can benefit anybody else that you maybe know, feel free to share it or to tag them below. But most importantly, allow this to benefit you and your journey. And make sure to drop any questions that you may have so that we can address it on the next episode in 2 weeks' time. So guys, we're gonna go now. Have a wonderful rest of your day and we see you all soon. Bye-bye.
If you want our global experts to create your dream online business or grow